Hello, everybody. We are about to start with Alice Woda. Thanks, everybody, for being there. And Alice, I'll give you the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to do the opening remarks of this gathering of the French tech communities in Europe. London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Belgrade, Bucharest, what do they have in common? In every of these cities, they have groups of French entrepreneurs that are here, volunteers, to help French startups to navigate and discover your markets. Maybe a few words about La French Tech and what is a French Tech community. So La French Tech is the name of the movement of French startups in France. It was created 10 years ago as a brand first, with the red rooster that you can see on some of our vests, and also as a team based in the French Ministry of the Economy. The French tech communities are volunteers, as I was saying, that are labeled by the state to help French startups to navigate their ecosystems. And for sure, the international expansion was always at the heart of La French Tech. Yesterday, the French government announced the new edition of the French Tech 120. Those are the 120 most successful French startups based on funding rounds and revenues. To become a part of the French Tech 120, you had to raise at least 40 million euros or to generate at least 40 million euros of revenues. And among those French Tech 120 startups, 90% are already present abroad. And a third of those revenues are already made at the international level. And most of the countries that are represented in this international expansion is Europe, of course. So the French tech communities that are here, present everywhere, you can recognize them with the rooster, are really helping you to discover those markets. And a message to all the startups that are here in the auditorium, please go and network with them because they are really the entry point to the countries that you want to discover. They are connected with their local counterparts, with the French institutions, the embassies, business friends, but also with all the corporates, VCs, and local institutions that you can find. So again, my message today is go and network, find new, discover new markets, and have a very nice evening tonight.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm very happy to welcome you tonight on our campus. I'm Denis Gallot. I'm director of the Rouen campus. Perhaps a few words about Neoma. Neoma is a business school. This business school has 3 campuses, one in Rouen, one in Paris here, and the third one in Reims. At least we have also a campus in the metaverse, a virtual campus, but it doesn't fulfill at this time. And in fact, Neoma is specialized in management, and we propose also an entrepreneurship development for our students. This is the Startup Lab. In the Startup Lab, we have 3 incubators, 2 accelerators, and 1 coding school. The 3 incubators are on the 3 campuses, and the 2 accelerators are specialized in one in EdTech in Reims, and the second one in mobility, transportation, logistics, and supply chain in Rouen. And we have also a coding school because we think that it's important to have competencies in management, but also to have competencies in coding. In fact, the topic of this event is internationalization. This is the reason why we developed since a long time a big network of 400 different partners all over the world. These are, for example, universities or business schools. And we also developed a global incubator. This is a network of university incubators that could propose to our students to continue their project when they are at the incubator of Rouen, or in Paris or in Reims, and to continue that when they do their exchange in the university abroad. This is also the reason why we are happy to welcome the French tech communities, because we want to propose to our students, to our startups, to develop their activities all over Europe. And if you are happy to welcome our startups, we will also be happy. So welcome to Neoma, and I will let the speak to you, I think.
Thank you, Denis. And we continue with the City of New York that is sponsoring our event tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Cecilia Kushner. I work for the Economic Development Corporation in New York City, and I'm here for VivaTech. I'm originally from France, so it's especially delightful to be among the French community, but also doing my job here. I oversee our economic development and research, as well as innovation industry. Obviously, tech is huge in New York, with the second global tech hub now, with 360,000 people working in tech in New York. That's 7% of the entire workforce. And we're number 2 in VC funding for startup as well. And since COVID, we've really had like a booming economy. We have the most private jobs we've ever had in our history. That's 4.7 million people working in New York City today. And entrepreneurship, which is the lifeblood of New York City, is well and alive. We now have 1 in 7 businesses in New York opened in the last 12 months. So it's really been a huge part of our recovery. We are especially interested in investing in all aspects of tech. We did a lot of general tech over the last 15 years, which is how it's grown a lot. But now we're really looking at biotech, and especially the intersection between ML, AI, and medicine discovery, because we think it's going to really dramatically transform diagnostic and really accelerate research. We're especially interested in climate change and climate tech in particular. We are the city that is the most aggressive in terms of green regulations in the United States, and spending quite a lot of money. We have an RFP right now opened. If anyone is interested, we have a partnership form on our website for $100 million to create a climate innovation hub in Brooklyn. So a place where climate tech can look at hardware and software, pilot all of their effort on our assets, and be able to be part of the green transformation in New York City. And obviously, AI is really important to us. We have today more than 40,000 AI workers in New York City. We have an enormous global market. All the purchases of AI, finance, insurance, marketing, entertainment are all in New York City. And so we really invite the French community to be part of that. So I'm inviting all of you to consider New York City as part of your journey outside of Europe. We have a really kind of comprehensive suite of services that we propose to startup and companies that are in the innovation industry and want to settle in New York City. We have a great website. It's called choose.nyc. So it's choose.nyc, and we present the entirety of the services we offer, from real estate search to navigating all of the incentives of the American government to plugging you into an ecosystem to business partnership. And so I'm here tonight to invite you all to think of New York in your journey to entrepreneurship and innovation in tech, and wishing you an awesome evening. Thank you. Say it again.
Stay 2 minutes more.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to, on behalf of the entire French tech community, thank you to the City of New York, because it's amazing to consider how much France is attractive enough for the City of New York to be sponsoring the French tech European communities. I'm just saying this is a great effort. So thank you very much for being here. It's a proof of our attractivity, but on the other side of the Atlantic, we are also super happy to have, of course, French tech communities around the world. And Caroline, who's our equivalent in New York, is the reason why Cecilia is here today. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, we do have quite a lot of startups that are abroad. I wanted to share with you one table, some statistics to give you an idea of how international the French tech is. I analyzed last year, and I will update soon the data with the new French Tech 120. How many startups have at least 5 employees abroad, and in which country? And actually, out of the 120 top startups in France, selected by French Tech, 43% have at least 5 employees in the US, 38% in the UK, 35, 1/3 in Spain, also almost 1/3 in Germany, Italy, Canada. As you can see, the French startups are extremely active abroad, and not only in just one country, but as you can see that Europe is extremely active, and so if you have a startup and you want to go abroad, don't hesitate to contact the French Tech in every country. It's very easy. We all have a LinkedIn page, so if you look for French Tech London, French Tech Italy, French Tech Berlin, for example, you will easily find us, and don't hesitate to do that, and also to network with all of us tonight. We have one last sponsor to thank. Adrien, do you want to? And then we'll share some key learnings with a few guests.
Hello, good evening. I hope you're having a good time. So Adrien Bacchi, president of French Tech Sofia, and also Chibi Phoenix. I own a video game studio called Chibi Phoenix. Chibi Phoenix, it's privately owned. We were 3 people 8 years ago. Now it's 70 people based in Sofia in Bulgaria. Beautiful country, beautiful city. And about 100 freelancers, artists that are also working for us everywhere. We do everything. We do the creative process, the art, the distribution, the coding, the game design. So it's a fairly intensive adventure. And we are releasing new games this year. We are looking for partners for global expansion. And the fun thing, so we have Manga RPG. I don't know if you see my T-shirt. Manga RPG, we released the game last week. And a few years ago, the girls of the team revolted and they said, no, we have to stop making games for guys. We want to make games for girls. So we have Amour Agent that is being released in a month. That's going to be very fun. I want to thank our friends Mathieu and Romain, who are also sponsoring the event. They are corporate finance specialists, investors specialized in M&A. And well, if you want to talk about money, I can introduce you to them. More importantly, I take this opportunity to thank all the volunteers that have made the event possible, because it was a lot of work, and the biggest names will be Milena, Raphael, and André. They've really given a lot to this event. And I hope this is the first of many. And well, thank you very much for being here, because an event is not just making it happen, it's also having the people, the content. You are the content. Thank you very much here. And we really wanted to select the best guests. And last but not least, I want to thank the French Tech, because the team of the French Tech is super helpful, and we are working with this idea of what is the French Tech. It's the French Tech the metropolitan French Tech and the international French Tech. How do we work together? How do we collaborate? And I think this event is this manifestation of how we can collaborate together. So it's just, I feel like this event is one of the best moments we've had of like 6 or 7 years of work and collaboration. So I'm very happy we are making it happen, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adrien. We want to share a few key learnings about Europe, internationalization. And I don't know if I saw him already, David Erhun. Okay, we start with David. The idea is like we spend 4 or 5 minutes with 6 experts, and we start with David. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. Really happy to be here, and it's fantastic to see all these great faces in the room representing the French Tech from across Europe. So a couple of words about me and why I'm here. So I work at Xange. We are an early stage VC fund operating across Western Europe. We have offices both in France and in Germany. We've been around for about 20 years now, so maybe a name you've come across. And one of our big pushes over the last couple of years and in the coming years will be also to internationalize. Both ourselves and also working with our companies in our portfolio to help them go abroad. And one of the networks that we try and encourage them to leverage, of course, is La French Tech. A bit about the fund. So we have about 90 portfolio companies currently in our care today, and that covers a lot of different sectors and a lot of different geographies. We invest in biotech, medtech, aerospace, B2B SaaS at different stages, and we tend to follow on as well much later into the company's growth. So in Germany, we have a couple of big names. We have Mr. Specs. In Belgium, we have Aerospace Lab, which is launching some amazing satellites along with SpaceX these days. And we try and leverage networks like La French Tech in order to both support our entrepreneurs with new contacts and new geographies. And we've used La French Tech in, say, Berlin to get in touch with new experts and providers, say legal professionals or business development or insights into the local market in order to better support both our own expansion to these geographies, but also our startups. I think it's very representative of our vision as a fund as well. We are trying to enter and cover more of Europe, and we're also looking to leverage the French connection in order to meet new entrepreneurs in new geographies. And so it's a fantastic opportunity for us and a benefit that perhaps other funds in other countries don't have in order to come in and see this. So one of the challenges I think we've faced in our own international expansion, so we've been around for about 20 years. We've had a presence historically in Germany with an office in Munich over the past 15, but not terribly active. And in just 1 year ago now, we've hired on a new partner to take over our German operations. And one of the learnings from that in particular is that in order to expand to a new geography, you really need to rely on local knowledge and local networks. And so we hired Valérie Bourès, who from the German crowd here today, you may recognize her name. She's a repeat entrepreneur. Very well connected in the local ecosystem, and has brought us a wealth of knowledge and connections and understanding of the DACH market, and especially how entrepreneurs are thinking differently in these geographies. And we're relying on her as well to also inform how our entrepreneurs are moving from France into Germany, and they can be coached and the specificities of the German market. So what I want to really say here today is that international expansion is greatly aided by having these relays in different countries, and I very much hope that in the near future we'll be able to also leverage some of the connections in this room to expand our own activities in investment and also with our startups into other countries across Europe and perhaps into the US as well. We have about 35% of our companies today present in the eastern seaboard of the US, and a lot of them in New York. So having that French connection is also really critical, and I know a lot of our entrepreneurs who have made the leap into the US are also very much in touch with this community. I think that's everything I have to share with you this evening, so I thank you very much for coming, and I very much look forward to speaking with all of you soon.
Thank you very much. We continue with Patrick Amiel from 321 Founded. Thanks, Patrick.
Hello, everybody. So I am 51. I am a old entrepreneur. I created a company in 2006. It was a marketplace. I think at this time the French tech was only focused in France. But we rolled out the company in 9 countries in Europe. We start from nothing, and then we did 50 million euro turnover. We were in 9 countries. We had 250 employees, but and we were profitable, and we sold the company to Vivendi Group at the end. So this is the past. But it was a nightmare to go abroad to go in all the country. All the country were so different one to each other. And then we decided for our expansion in the past just to hire people here in Paris, native people. For example, we were in Spain with a Spanish girl in Paris, Italia, and we were in Turkey also. We were in all the country in Europe almost, except the UK. UK was so difficult to enter. So in the past we did it without any help. So I'm very, very happy to see all of you guys here tonight. It's very precious for all the entrepreneurs now to have this kind of network. Just a question: who is entrepreneur here tonight? Just to understand. Okay. Almost everybody, the majority. So maybe it's a little bit easier today because you have network, and I think the good thing if you would like to go abroad is just to knock on the door on someone, to other entrepreneur, to the French Tech, then to ask to share experience, because it's so difficult to learn in France, it's so difficult to learn in each country. So this is the past, what I did. And when I sold the company in 2019. During 2 years, I didn't have any idea what to do, so I did a lot of things, but nothing. And then now I create a startup studio, a corporate startup studio. So it's maybe strange when you're an entrepreneur to work with a large company, but I had the conviction that in a large company they have a lot of gold in their hand, but they are unable to leverage many assets. So today we create, because you're an entrepreneur, it's very difficult to run one company, but today we run 6 companies. So it's a nightmare, it's exponential, but it's possible because we have a team of entrepreneurs working with us. So today we build company from scratch, from nothing, with, for example, BNP Paribas, the largest bank in Europe. We create 2 fintech with them. We did it also with PMU in France. We create legal tech also with Augusto de Bouzy, one of the leader lawyer cabinet in France. And then we had the conviction that if we are able to unify entrepreneur with large company with a specific way to run the company, we can do things and to reduce the go-to-market because we joined the first. So it's what we do today. The company, the startup studio, the name is 321. That's it. So it's easy to remember. And I'm very happy to be with you. And let's have discussion all together later. And who is the next?
Thanks, Patrick. Next is Nicolas Proust from Pasqal. Nicolas?
Yes. Do I have slides? Not sure. Okay. I will spell this again. Okay. So you will not see the quantum processing unit on the screen. So thank you so much for having me on the stage today. The first speaker explained why he was on the stage. I know that I am on the stage because I've been harassing the French Tech for 3 years now, and some of you as well. I'm head of strategy and corporate development at Pasqal. I joined the company in 21. I was employee number 35, if I remember well. I'm in charge of fundraising, M&A, internalization, and public affairs. And in fact, now we are more than 250 employees operating in 8 countries, 4 in Europe. So I'm not sure that I've seen Netherlands in the slide with the company with more than 5 employees in the different countries. So at least it's 1 now. We are a quantum processing company building hardware and software. We were founded in 2019 by Alain Aspect, Nobel Prize in Physics in 2022. We raised $140 million so far, and the largest fundraising in January 23. It was led by Temasek, Aramco, and the European Innovation Council. For us, it's really important to have shareholders that reflect our footprint and our strategy. And having the European Innovation Council, for example, is a strong footprint for us. So, of course, we are willing to expand this footprint as well, and that's why we're operating now in the UK, in Germany, in Netherlands, and in France. Quantum is a global topic, so we need to be present in different countries and have a lot of activities such as supply chain, developing commercial activities, building quantum processing units, building the whole ecosystem. And of course, to do so, we need to have like some roots. So you help us to understand better how to penetrate markets. And it's really important to have you on board and supporting the technology and Pascal and tech champions, for example. And thank you, La French Tech, for having us next FT 120 this year. We were Deep New 20 and FT 2030 as well. So yeah, the next year will be next 40, I hope. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. We continue with Pascal Condamine from Scaleway.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Pascal Condamine, VP Startup at Scaleway. Thank you, Raph. Thanks, André and Raph, for having me tonight. Happy to share my experience. So I joined Scaleway. Scaleway, I don't know how many of you know, we are a cloud computing company based in France. We are a subsidiary of Iliad's group, the big group owned by Xavier Amiel, that is one of the largest telecom group in Europe. And so I joined Scaleway 4 years ago to kickstart our startup program, which means being international from the start because it was open for application for all startups from all around the world. When you are a European cloud provider with all our data centers in Europe, what was mostly interesting for a lot of French startups and European startups, and the one that were outside of Europe were usually non-European startups trying to tackle the European market and wanting to work with a local provider. During my time scaling the program, there was this strategy on expanding in Europe. It was mostly finding local people that would build relationship, but also partnership with local people on incubators, accelerator, going to event and organize meetup and events. So it has been very interesting in scaling a big team all around Europe. I had people in the Netherlands, Italy, Spain, Sweden, and got me the chance to work also with a lot of the different French tech spread all around Europe and supporting some of our initiatives. Then has been some changes, reorganization, you know, life of a company, and we scaled down on that side and more reorganizing and focusing a lot more on the sales part, and now structuring by industry, and then to have some big key regions spread all around Europe. So to have UK and Northern Europe, Southern Europe, and then Eastern Europe. Some of the key learning during my experience at Scaleway and seeing how the life of a company, I would say one of the key point was really to structure correctly the sales team and have the right sales cycle in order to be able to process the leads and convert them into customer. That was one of the big key learning. I don't know, I think it was David who said it earlier, but also to hire local people to really understand the culture of the country, and that's very important. Like Germany, for example, if you have a business meeting, you don't arrive on time. You arrive 5 minutes early, because if you arrive on time, you're already late. And each country is going to have its own specificities and culture. And if you want to tackle the market, you really need to know how things work from sales point of view, but also marketing. And I think all the different French tech here really know if they manage to get business and grow big business in the countries they are in, it's important to have a chat with them to avoid mistake along the way. So, thank you.
So we have two more key learnings. One is from Pierre-Yves Meerschman from Daphni. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So thanks, André and Raph, for inviting me. So I'm a partner at Daphni. So Daphni, that's a VC fund that has been set up in 2015 in Paris. So I'm personally an investor for the last 20 years. So having invested in a lot of companies. And Daphni has around 500 million euro under management at the time being, with two main funds and a dedicated fund that we have created with Groupe Carrefour on the retail tech. So if you have things around the retail techs, that's a fund called Dastor. And the main fund that we have created in 2015 has been created having the product market fit with the startups. So identify what is good for the startups with a dual approach. The one is we were not digitalized ourselves, so we wanted to digitalize to bring better value proposition for the founders. And the second is the community. And I guess that when we're talking about Europe and the French tech, we're talking about a community. And that's something that we have leveraged, Daphni, to make things happen. Because when you are an entrepreneur, we are entrepreneurs in our VC fund. The main thing is that we need to solve the issues as fast as we can. And solving the issues is meeting the right people at the right time. So getting the contacts is key. And having this community of the French tech all over Europe is a big chance. And when I think about Europe, it's a fragmented market. So at the same time, it's a big hurdle, because as compared with the US in terms of addressable market, you can say it's easier to launch a business in the US than to launch it in Europe. But once you have done something great in Europe, that's a good barrier to entry. And that's something that could be a real good asset for the value of the companies in the long term. And that's why at Daphni, what we are doing is to focus on companies which are leveraging the strengths of Europe. We have identified 3 topics: collectiveness, inventiveness, and wellness. And when coming, for example, with to artificial intelligence, we are convinced that there are strong assets in Europe, especially in the inventiveness, with really good people in tech. And we can see now with the few announcements around artificial intelligence, as that's the point we discussed a bit earlier. So we are convinced that in Europe, there are a lot of things to do around these topics. Collectiveness is around circular economy, which is a key topic in what we are addressing at Daphni. We have a few examples, like with Back Market, for example, who has scaled in Europe at a quite good pace. And we are convinced that this type of company would not have been created outside Europe, because it's just a matter of collective thinking. So we have also been asked about a tip. So I agree with the ones that have been addressed. The one I have is when launching or wanting to open new other market that your own market, is to test different market at the same time. Because we see a lot of companies that are saying, okay, I want to go abroad, but when I want to go abroad, I will test Spain, for example. And then I will take lessons from scaling Spain, having the playbook and so on, and trying to replicate for, I don't know, Italy and Germany. The point is that the culture is different, the playbook may be applied a bit differently, and so on. So each time you want to go abroad, think twice, let's say, or at least twice, just to nurture and compare, because you cannot take conclusion from only one country that you want to expand in. So I have few other. I agree on recruiting, having the right people to address the culture the right way, and to embark the culture in the product. When you are launching a company and setting up a product, having the roadmap, it has to be thought in advance to make it internationalizable by nature, by design, and not addressing your own market and just looking back and say, oh shit, I've forgotten to think about this topic for international. So That's what I have. Thanks a lot for inviting. And I don't know who is the next. That Joanna?
Hi everyone, thanks Raph, thanks André, thanks everyone for being here. So I have a little bit of a different take to add on to everything that's been said. I'm a tech PR strategist. I'm based in Paris. I work with tech and creative ecosystems, tech companies, VC funds, and ecosystem builders. Part of them are in France and looking to go international, and others are international, interested in the French market. I've been in this business for some time now. I also come from the event industry. So I thought I'd give a couple of learnings concerning the conference industry and the conferences in Europe, across Europe and in France. I can remember back in the years going to several different conferences, whether in France and internationally, and it was not necessarily that easy to network and to know where to start from. And throughout the years, this is now something that's been evolving now and being built, amongst other things, a lot with the French tech communities that is so implicated and involved in the local ecosystems that you can guaranteed go into one of the European countries and be sure to meet some of the communities, the local communities there, and the French tech communities on ground. And I think that this is some added value that has very much evolved in the 10 last years, and that you can leverage from a distance if you don't travel to all the conferences, but you can also actually focus on certain strategic conferences, and either the French tech will be partnering there or will actually be doing year-round events, and really bridging with the French ecosystem and the international ecosystems. That was the first point that I wanted to say. The second one is more on the PR and the media side. I can remember years back also talking to some of the French and international media, specifically the international media, about the French ecosystem, which was not that identified in comparison to the US or to the UK. This also has evolved a lot today in most of the international key media, such as TechCrunch and Sifted, Financial Times, The Economist. If you speak to a journalist today, they will have focus, they will have attention, and they will have an ear for what's going on in the French ecosystem. And notably, the French tech has become a renowned brand, actually. So this has changed a lot in the game also for when you're going to be looking to go international. You're going to be able to find attention and focus from the media, and you're also going to be able to collaborate with different media or agencies or PR companies actually based in these different countries. So this is something that is a learning, is that if you are going to go international, do not hesitate to base yourself with key people on the ground to work with you hand in hand. They will have a much more detailed view of what's the media, what the challenges are, the different cultures, as you were saying earlier, that really characterize each ecosystem. So this is going to be something that is still going to evolve, but today the French ecosystem really benefits from that. So yeah, that was my input, and happy to talk with you later.
Thanks a lot, Joanna. We continue with the last part of our presentation, and we talk about startup pitch. So we asked the French tech communities of Europe to select and recommend a few startups from their countries to present today, because why are we here? It's really also why are we volunteers in all of these countries, is to help startups. So we give 2 minutes for each of them, and we start with Novus. 2 minutes. It's a level. Yes.
Comment ça va?
Oh, you don't see it?
No, we don't.
Here? No? Yes.
Oh, can you see it?
Yep.
No, it's not. Okay, just. Okay, now we're all. So, hi everyone, I'm Vorga, the co-founder and CEO of Novus. It's really hard for me to not to walk. It just let me stay this way. So, we are an on-premise and hybrid LLM integration company. We are working with large enterprises. They're basically making most of the market. The enterprises, they do have issues to integrating AI to their daily operations. So, the problems in Europe, the data privacy and regulations are quite hard when you compare it to the US. And even if you are fine with it, the integrating horizontal models like Mistral, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Copilot directly is not given the enough efficiency. And even if you want to invest in, just like BNP and the other large corporations, it's quite costly and there is no guarantee that you will get the results. So in Europe, the market, AI integration market in large enterprises is quite big. It's growing. It's going to be at 27 billion in its expectation in 2032. What we offer as a solution is a product that works with multiple LLMs. You can create your company, second brain, autonomous AI corpus. You don't need code. It directly connects to the database. It's on-prem, hybrid, cloud, and totally GDPR compliant. So we came from an API provider background, 360 AI. We work with call centers. Enterprise QA is like a second brain that I just told. Fingenius, it works on top of SAP systems, mostly for manufacturing companies and their finance teams, and AutoContent, as it seems like it's for marketing teams. So we raised, it's $500,000, like 2 years ago. We just closed another $3 million round in a valuation of $14 million. We plan to grasp $720 million in European market. We plan to open our European headquarters in Paris. So here are the numbers. Yeah, it's just we do have more than 150K MRR. Right now our product is used by more than 4,000 people, and we do have 30 B2B customers, mostly in Turkey, but in Italy and Germany too. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up. So why you should work with us? There is, let me skip this. Here's our team. I will talk you about differentiations. So here's our team. There are cool names, cool brands, but they're all my college friends. So let's skip this part. And advisors, yeah, they're really a rock star. We are a Boston-based startup, and there are big tech directors, MIT and Harvard directors, and NVIDIA is now a big tech. So yeah, so I guess thank you for listening me.
Thank you very much. We continue with counterfake. Counterfake. If we have counterfake. 1, twice. Then Cellsway. Cellsway. We have Cellsway. And do we have? Yes, we have. Here you go.
Don't stress me, please. You said it, please. I'm gonna start. Okay, anyway, my name is Haluk, and hello, everyone. And today I'm gonna introduce you Cellsway, the company working on precise and targeted cancer care solutions with the world's best CTC enrichment system. So you know, cancer care is evolving rapidly, but the response rate to immuno-oncology and targeted therapies are still low, like 20% or so. The main reason is there is no exact solution which can be applied at right time and to the right patient. So these are the three keywords: right oncology treatment, right patient, and right timing. And liquid biopsy has the potential enabling these three keywords. Solid biopsy is the gold standard. As long as you can access the tumor, you can get a lot of information, but this is high risk and high gain. But by using liquid biopsy, you can eliminate the risks of the solid biopsy. However, the problem is what is available in the market does not provide the whole information about the cancer cells. The Cellsway introduced a solution which combines the advantages of these two different techniques. So we offer a microfluidic chip, which is innovative, label-free isolation provider, and we offer the highest CTC recovery and highest throughput in the market. And also we provide standardized and validated assay kits to guarantee end-to-end workflow, which is suitable for any pathologist or any oncologist. So up to now, we have proved our product with some samples, and we proved the validity of the assay kits. And the completed clinical study shows that we can show up to like 80% CTC sensitivity for prostate cancer patients. Right now, we are at research use only market launch phase, and we are looking for money to go over certification for FDA and CE-IVD approvals. And thank you so much. If you are interested, we can talk later on.
Thank you. That's fast, yeah? We continue with the listen alert.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Amiel. I'm co-founder and CEO of Listen Alert. We are based in Oslo, Norway. So what we do, we are media intelligence software based on audio and video media. Today, businesses rely on media insights to make decisions. So the most obvious use case that they use media insights from is for building their reputation, but they also use media insight for market intelligence, for competitive analysis, for example, to make decisions in case of due diligence, for merger and acquisition. And then they, to do that, to get these media insights, they use media intelligence tools. And these tools, they are basically based on written media, such as print, newspapers, and digital articles. But there's a big gap, and the big gap is audio and video media, such as YouTube, podcasts, TikTok. These media are hugely popular. They are growing, and we strongly believe there are gems in there. There are really precious insights. But the media intelligence tools, they don't cover this media. So we have developed Listen Alert, which is AI-powered tool to monitor and analyze brand mentions also of public figures and trends on global audio and video media. So we have started this year, so we are quite new in the market. We're starting with podcasts, and we have already reached, we already cover 50,000 podcasts in 8 languages, and we are expanding our historic data. So this is really a lot of data. Time's out. Please reach out to us. I'm here with my co-founder, Nick, so feel free to come if you have any question.
Thank you very much. We continue with Ivy, Gauthier. Yes. No pressure, just...
Bonjour, je m'appelle Stig. And that's all you need to know that I'm not French, but Gauthier, which name is on here, is French. And we're also based in Oslo. Oh, look at that, I got timing as well. Perfect. By 2030, $8.3 trillion needs to be invested into renewable energy deployment. If the industry does not evolve, the management of this money relies on fallible manual processes as well as a lot of information that's difficult to access. What we're doing is that we ensure that the asset managers that are responsible for the assets described by hundreds of documents and thousands of pages have the right information at the right time. We do this by taking all the documents describing the assets, we're going through them, we're dividing them into snippets of information, and we're doing this by using our domain-informed data model. Once we have the knowledge graph that results from this extraction, we combine it with best practices, and then we get insights. And in turn, these insights are used for automation, creating what we call a virtual asset manager. We're currently at the stage where we onboarded 1 paying pilot customer. We're working with another 5 pilot customers for establishing paid pilots. We are raising a pre-seed round currently, just started, 1 to 1.5 million euros, and we're targeting close in September. So if there's anyone here that have worked with or interested in working with renewable energy, impact companies, large language models, or in any way think they could have something to contribute or just want to ask questions, feel free to reach out to me or Gautier afterwards. So I've got 13 seconds for questions.
Thanks a lot. We continue with Scooch.
Amazing. Hi, everyone. My name is Barış. I'm the founder and CEO of Scooch. Scooch is an AI-powered pet health platform to take guesswork out of pet care. Basically, our story began when Rio joined our family during the dark days of COVID. He brought instant joy, and he felt like he was one of our babies. But I also realized a lot of friends and neighbors were getting pets for the first time and struggling with their wellness. COVID changed pet ownership. Millions of pets were adopted during this time, and a lot of these pets were adopted by young people, Gen Z millennials, and they built very close bonds with them and considered them as family. One thing, unfortunately, that didn't change is pet healthcare itself. It is still reactive, costly, and old school, and that is where Scooch comes in. We offer the front door for modern pet healthcare. Our platform is AI-powered, holistic, seamless, digitized, and hassle-free. It enables pet parents to diagnose, treat, and prevent painful pet health issues from the comfort of their home through a very simple, hassle-free subscription. We also provide an embedded insurance to tackle expensive veterinary bills. In 2 years, we have achieved tremendous traction and with positive unit economics. Last year alone, we grew 8-fold, achieving more than £1 million in annualized revenue and tripled our lifetime value as well. Our hard work has been recognized with awards. We won the Best Pet Tech Company of last year and AI Startup of the Year in London this year. And fortunately, we got the JCDecaux Nurture UK Award in VivaTech a couple of hours ago. So, thank you. We have an amazing team of complementary experts from data science, technology, growth, product and innovation. I myself am a serial entrepreneur, and before Scooch, I was leading an AI-powered health tech company for 8 years. Time is running out. We're raising our seed round of £2 to £3 million. We're backed by Founders Factory, Mars Pet Care, Michelson Found Animals, and also RJ Ventures. I'm glad to be here, and thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. We continue with Deep Hawk.
Hasn't started yet, right? All right, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. Deep Hawk, a company based in France, in Rennes. And oh, I need to move this. Okay. Is it moving? Okay. Okay, non-quality in manufacturing costs 5 to 10% of the revenue. It's huge. All manufacturers are actually looking for a solution. And in the past 6-7 years, there's been a lot of trial and errors. And some solutions tried. Deep learning is too slow for training, too slow for inference. Some have hardware, not very flexible. So we came with a brand new AI, and we started with the paradigm of a frugal AI. So it works with a very small data set, and it goes really fast, like less than 30 minutes to train, like 50 images versus thousands of images. And on top of it, the carbon footprint is much, much more performing or lower. And we tested these AIs with big names and against other AIs, and you see 3,000 images to 50. The main one, the most attractive one for clients is the low false positive. We go below 2%, others are between 20 and even 53% low false positive, which is crazy. This is an example of an image that we test. This was a challenge run by a major car manufacturer brand, super well known, and we were 12 and we won it. Actually, we were the only one able to test this. The big problem with this image is that you have a big difference in light, very strong light on one side and very dark on the other side, and we have to detect this little scratch. We're working with all those guys, but time is running, so we're in production with 3 factories, 2 in France, 1 in Germany, and we test in test phase with many big names, and we're raising 1.5 million for customer-facing people, pre-sales, sales, and customer success, and this is to grow the business in France, Germany, and US. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We continue with the clearly. Clearly.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi there, I'm Danielle from Clearly, CEO and founder, and we are the company with the data and AI stack to allow for companies to actually receive net zero targets in the biggest part of our economy, which is transportation. We cover transportation and anything that's related to it. We do this by deeply integrating into our customer systems and data lakes in currently 3 siloed areas. The first one is movement. Where is the vehicle moving? Connected vehicles, fleet management systems, applications. What is the vehicle doing and how is it moving? The second one is something called operations. What is inside that vehicle? Either us or the package. And the third one is what we call an asset. What type of vehicle is it and what energy source goes into it? Either the electricity flows or the fuel flows. We bring that data together, we enhance it with data from the outside world, and then we run it through thousands of scenarios from global regulations, policies, and frameworks, and then we generate something called trip-level emissions data. What that allows our companies to do is to do 3 things. One is to precisely identify what their CO2 emissions are all the way down to the scope 3 level. 2 is to take action, to make much better operating decisions, either making vast amounts of savings on day-to-day decisions or when making investment decisions. And the third one, to have the data available to access the growing suite of climate-based financing products. We're a global company. We are now active across Europe, Asia, and the US. We are tracking 100 million trips, which is primary data, with 60,000 assets under contract. Our customers are anyone who owns, operates the fleets, or are supplying into that fleet or financing. We have just completed our recent round. It's a growth seed. We're in our rolling close, looking for one more ticket. If anyone is interested, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Cloud City. Okay, Van. Coco Parks. 58 facets. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm actually Eric. I'm not Alexis. Alexis is my co-founder, but that's fine. So I'm Eric, co-founder of 58 Facet. We're the first marketplace dedicated to second-hand jewelry. I'll start with a number. Today, 92% of all the jewels in the world just sit unused in the safes and drawers of just everybody, just anybody, right? And today, consumers are turning more and more to second-hand in general, across all categories, right? That's a fact. Why? Because it's usually cheaper than the new market, because it's also more environmental friendly, and because you can have access to rare, unique pieces that are or items that are maybe no longer produced in the new market. And that's especially true for jewelry, right? Jewelry is a very durable good. It can be repaired over and polished, and it will look as new. And yet, the secondary market today only accounts for 4 to 5% of the primary market, which is very low if we compare it to other categories like watches or automobiles, for instance. So why is that, and how can we democratize it? We need to make it transparent, we need to make it safe, and we need to make it easy to access. So at 58 Facet, what we've done is we've built an AI-powered appraisal web app with which anyone can today estimate the real value of a secondary piece of jewelry. And we integrated this app into a fully automated marketplace where anyone can easily and safely buy and sell certified, pre-owned pieces of jewelry at the right price. As a marketplace, we guarantee that every single piece is certified by an expert physically before it's shipped to the end buyer. And we also developed a full suite of services specifically targeting and tailored to the specific needs of this market. So resizing, for example, of the rings. And so today we're the leaders of the market in France. We're on a mission to roll out our solution across all the countries in Europe. And our ambition is to become the #1 destination in the world for second-hand jewelry goods lovers in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Constel Education.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to be here and to present our mission at Constel Education. My name is Paul Cartier. I'm the co-founder and CEO. Our purpose is to eradicate scholar dropout in higher education. At the beginning, we stated that there is 1 student out of 2 who does not feel he's at the right place in his school or university. And so schools and universities are facing a big challenge, which is student experience. How to create an amazing and an unforgettable student experience. And to do so, we created the first platform and methodology to develop and scale a mentoring program in schools and universities. At the moment, we are working with 15 schools and universities in France, such as University Paris Panthéon-Assas, IESEC School of Management, not Neoma yet, but it's only a matter of time. And we raised a seed round of 1 million euros last year to accelerate with a company named Humans Matter, who is making research in education. And so we have a partnership to develop more impactful program. And our purpose is to create the first and the biggest platform to create an amazing student experience in schools and universities at the French scale, and after at the European scale, and at the international scale. At the moment, we are not raising funds, but if you know any schools and universities who are struggling with their mentoring program, I would be really, really glad to meet them. So thank you very much for having me today, and have a great evening.
Thank you. We continue with cas d'étude. Okay.
Good evening. I'm Christophe Bansard. I'm the co-founder of the EdTech company Cas d'étude. According to president of university, business schools managers, they understand that students face issues with fundamentals in mathematics. And we observe that more and more students face difficulties with fundamentals. And it deals. It's a big deal for them, and it disabling students for their studies and their future professional lives. And for example, you observe that percentages, statistics, simple math are really a big problem, big issue for students. That's why we developed ELEDA. It's the first mobile applications designed to refresh and to master mathematics fundamentals. And we target international market. We try to sell that to all higher education institutions over the world. So now we are here just to expose you. We work on the French market with the secondary market, and we are many secondary schools, and now we try to address university level. That's why we need your support to develop this new market, and I thank you very much for inviting me to present the product. Thank you.
The two last ones, Senza Terra.
Few years ago, I was drinking a coffee, like my everyday morning coffee, and I was realizing, like, why am I drinking such a shitty coffee, like super expensive from Nespresso and not sustainable? And few days ago, I saw in the news like scientific articles mentioning that we are in the cups there is like aluminium traces, and that's not good at all for health. And that's exactly the pain points of B2C customer and B2B customer. Finding good products that we use in daily life. Everybody is drinking coffee and tea at a fair price and not 50 cents or 60 cents the cups, and easy to find. And this is exactly what is Senza Terra. This is a B2B and B2C solution. CSR, because we source all the products from independent artisans for B2B and B2C customer. It's also operating in a big market, so it's 600 billion euros, and it has been co-founded by 3 persons. So Denis, which is one of the top BA in France that launched the Vorga Can Mano Mano. Maxence, specialized in finance, and myself, I'm a former high-level athlete and entrepreneur since 21. Now Senza Terra on the B2C marketplace is operating in Europe, so Italy, France, and Germany, and we are profitable. On the B2B part, we launched 1 year ago. It's 1 million euro of revenue, 60 customers already, and we are profitable in 2 months. So we just do a fundraising to accelerate on the B2B parts. We are looking for 500K of euros, and we already secure a part of the deal with great investors. So if you want to join the team, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
I'm not sure if we have a slides, but the last one is cropped.
Bonjour, don't worry about the slides. I'm okay with free jazz as well. So my name is Oscar, and I'm co-founder of a startup called Cropped from Novi Sad, Serbia, and we're developing AI solutions for agriculture of the future. And by the year 2050, we will need to increase agricultural production by 70% in order to feed the population. And there are a lot of things to optimize, actually, like access to finance, field operations, distribution, logistics, and everything. But in order to optimize anything, you need to model it using AI. So we're gathering data from satellites, field data, weather data, soil data, and put it in the cloud. And that is where the magic happens with machine learning, with AI. However you call it, it's basically statistics on steroids. So we're using AI to model it and to optimize it. So what we do is that we can identify what crops are planted, identify how they're operated, and we can do yield forecast. So just as you have a weather forecast, we do yield forecasting as well. Why is it important? It's important for the banks, insurance companies to assess their clients. It's important for the farmers to optimize their operations. And using that, we can increase the profits, increase the yields, and still be sustainable. So we're here in France, one of the largest agricultural producers in the world, and we're looking for partners. We want to meet cooperatives, we want to meet banks, insurance companies with an interest in, I see that the time is running out. So we want to increase our network of partners and hopefully scale our AI models up across the whole Europe. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, everybody. You had a lot of courage, but it was really fascinating. I would like to thank also Osco. Osco, can you come here? We are about to drink. We have some champagne, but also some people don't want to drink alcohol. And Osco created some alcohol-free cocktails. And thank you for coming here and offering us some cocktails. And then you will also have some snacks around there.
Thank you very much. So I'm just here for the transition. The idea with Osco is exactly that. When you want to avoid a cup of champagne because you had your third event in a row, because you had a plane very early in the morning, we felt that sometimes we are fed up with getting some new sodas or just water for soft as a soft. So we wanted to offer Osco, and Osco is a range of non-alcoholic aperitif. And what is it exactly? The idea is to offer all the richness of a spirit, meaning the full gustative tasting exploration of a spirit, the anchor into the terroir, the service ritual of a real cocktail, and combining it with the naturality, the organic concept, all the standards that are now completely very important for consumer. Sorry for my English. I think the best demonstration is for you to try the product. So I'm very glad to welcome you and try the Osco aperitif.
Thank you, and enjoy the cocktails and the networking.